Hey, what's going on, guys? Tony here, CCxRC, and I'm really excited to show you guys this brand new Losi Tenacity DB Pro. This is the upgraded version. It's like the Pro upgrade kit that they made for the DB, but it's ready to run, and it's got some awesome new tech in here from Spektrum that we're going to take a look at, and especially in future videos, we're going to look at it in real detail and how all of that smart tech works. But for right now, we're going to do an overview of the truck, see what you get, what comes in the box, and what you should be excited about from this truck. Now, it's really exciting to me because a couple weeks ago we did a video, an RC Conspiracies about Losi, and we started bringing up some of the trucks, what could it be? And one of them that we did talk about was the Losi TEN-SCTE buggy, which is exactly what these buggies kind of are like and maybe even replacing. This is the one that I got. There are two different body styles that you can get, the Lucas Oil one on the bottom or the Fox one here on the top. I hadn't seen the Lucas Oil one in person until recently at my hobby town, but now that I've seen it, I actually really like that one. Kind of torn now. I like how bright that body is. But I do like the Fox brand, the Fox logo. I think it looks slick with the red here, little pop of color on the fin and the tires, or the rims. So yeah, so we're gonna be looking at these today, guys, and getting this out of the way, opening this up, showing you guys what's inside, and dropping an RC Conspiracy sticker right on the back here. So let's do this. Alrighty, guys, so here it is. Look at the details that they've done with this thing. There's a light bar right up on the front here for you guys, and looks really cool on the front. Very tippy front. It says Fox Race, like it kind of looks like a license plate almost, but you got all the branding, Dynamite, AVC, Spektrum, and the logo here for Tenacity. The Mountain Fox US Open biking, and so that's where the biking reference, part of that came in there. Falcon tires, but it is a really pretty buggy. All right, guys, before we go too far, I do want to look at a few things that you do get in the packaging. The first one is the Spektrum DX2E remote control. It does come with 4 batteries that go in here, and so I've already put those in, and it's ready to go. You have your on-off switch here, your throttle trim, steering trim, a bind button, which is great how easy they make these to bind now. We'll talk about that later. Your AVC rate, which is great. These do have AVC to help you drive it better. And then you have a limiter here, so if you want to give this to a kid or something, you can. It's a 3-position. You do have these Wild Peak tires by Falcon, and they've got this kind of painted beadlock look to them. White and red. I do like that a lot. The tires have nice firm foam in them, and they feel really grippy. Should be a pretty good off-road tire. As you can see, the tread pattern on them. The shocks are aluminum body, metal body, and topped, and they're adjustable, so that's going to make it easy. Adjustable turnbuckles, as you can see here in the rear, and you do have sway bars. You do have this fin on the back end. Looks great. Another little pop of red, white. So it is a very clean, it's like a rock and roll color pattern to me. Red, white, black kind of just screams rock and roll. I like it. The other one is red, white, and blue. It's very like Americana looking, and I just like that as well. So here you can see the back end, the bracing that they've got here for the fin. It looks amazing. Pretty nice size plastic arms. And they're adjustable as far as where you can put your shocks in. There is also sway bars on front and rear of the vehicle. And here it does have a metal shock tower in there. The one question I will have is how easy it is to get to these diffs. Looking at the bottom, it looks like it's just a few screws to kind of remove this whole part. So it shouldn't be too hard even with this casing. I know the center diff looked pretty easy, so we'll get in and look at some of that when we take off the body, which will happen now. Actually, we'll look inside. You've got 2 molded drivers. Their heads do move in there, and should be replaceable if you wanted to get some other types of heads. I know a lot of people do replace these. Simple screw from the bottom takes care of that. It is a multi-piece design here as far as the cage goes, and so it is kind of nice because you can replace portions of it. And same with the body panels are separate on the sides. You do have the top, 2 sides, and here. But let's go ahead and open this up and look inside, because this is where a lot of the cool stuff is that I want to look at. Well, look right away in here at all of the black and orange. That is the cool stuff that I'm excited about in here. The Spektrum Firma 130 amp smart brushless ESC. That is right there in front of you. This thing is really gorgeous looking. And the heatsink has their logo as part of the heatsink, the metal there. It just looks so sharp. You've got the power button right here. Very much like Hobbywing. These are kind of a Hobbywing rebrand. So it makes it very easy to work with as far as cards and stuff like that. A lot of people know how these work, and so that is nice to see. We'll flip it around to the other side and look at some of the other Spektrum electronics that we get. Along this side of the chassis, you get several pieces of Spektrum equipment, starting with the motor to the receiver and the servo. And so this is an AVC capable receiver. The number of it is on this side. You can see it's an AVC SR6100AT receiver, and you've got your battery programming, your steering, your throttle, aux 1, 2, 3, and 4 auxes on there. Really nice, which this is mounted right onto the servo, which is the S605 Spektrum servo. And it does also have a servo saver tucked in under here, which we can't see because we can't get the light down in there. But while we're up front, you can also see a lot of the metal that you'll be getting up on the front of the rig. Again, the shocks being metal bodied. You have dual adjustability here with the turnbuckles for your wheels, for camber and toe in and all of that. So that is nice. It also has sway bar, metal sway bars up front, and the adjustability for your shocks as well. So it does have plastic C-hub carriers, and all of those kind of components in here are plastic. Looks like it's a pretty well made plastic though, a little bit flexible. It does have a metal chassis, so you do have a nice metal chassis. I do like the hinged design on the body. It just has 2 body clips. I should point that out because I love it. It has gone to the spring or the clip retainers, which are super great. Definitely love those. I'm always losing my body clips, so I love seeing that feature added to these. The Spektrum motor is something that's new to these. So it is running a Spektrum Firma 4-pole 3150 motor here. And that's 3150 kV. The model number is SPM XSM1000. So these, I think we're going to start seeing in a lot more of the Horizon Hobby trucks. I think we're going to start seeing these Spektrum electronics, which I think is a good idea on them. It's a nice name brand that people know, and I think it will do well for them. Inside here, you do have metal drive shafts, and the cup system, like the old 10 and all of that, have a center diff, wire management nicely across this upper plastic brace on the top. So you do have a chassis brace. The two things that I kind of, question, this is a cheap servo. It's waterproof. I get why they put it in here. It's like a $20 servo. It's nothing to write home about. You do get nice electronics here. The 130 amp ESC, this brushless motor. These receivers are pricey, and you get a really nice receiver system in here, and so that's good to see. There's money there for the buyer, the purchaser that is in this vehicle. You do have lots of metal. You have the upgrade kits in here, so you do have the metal shock towers front, rear, a lot of the different metal components, metal drive shafts up front that are dog bones to, it looks like, yeah, like a CVD up front, like a dog bone to CVD. It does have the light bar, so that wiring is routed here and up. So you do have 2 wires that come from the ESC now. So you have the throttle one, and you have another one that is reading some of that telemetry. So that's interesting to see in here and to note. We'll look at what that all is later as we get into this more. It is running an IC5 connector, so if you don't have that, you'll need to get adapters for your batteries. You could cut this off. I wouldn't recommend it because that's where all your smart stuff comes from. I would adapt to this, whatever your batteries are, and so that's what I'm doing, because we'll be looking at my batteries in here in a little bit. And so mine are the XT60s, and I just run an adapter to the EC5, and that EC5 will also plug into the IC5 connectors, no problem. and we're good to go. So that's what I'm going to be running. I'm going to actually leave that on here so it'll stay with the car. I'm running 2S in here. This is the one thing I wanted to talk about in here. All right, so let's take a quick look here at the one thing that I kind of wish was done differently, and that is the battery compartment that you see right here. And it is set up right now to handle a 2S battery. I wish that it was Velcro, because right now this car is set up, it's kind of like a race car in that you have to change things in order to go 3S. It's geared, or it can handle 2S or 3S with this ESC, but the gearing in the car right now is a 17 tooth, and they want you to switch out for the 15 tooth that they give you right here in this little baggie. But you also, if you want to go 3S, have to put these two spacers in right here where these standoffs are for your battery compartment. So you've got to lift this. It comes with longer screws in the bag, because right now I'm literally bending this over to get it to clip on here if I want to clip it in. So this is a Venom pack in here, Venom Drive, and it will work with this vehicle. We'll get it powered up and just show you a couple of things here. So make sure our controller's on first. We'll go ahead and power it on. You can hear it chirping. So we're good to go. You can see the lights are on. And they're doing funny things to my camera right now. But so we do have it powered on. The servo does feel a little bit weak. We'll see when it's out there driving to get a little bit more power. I think it'll be fine for it. Again, it is one thing that I'll be looking to upgrade, but I do that with a lot of my cars. There's certain parts, especially in ready to runs, that you want to upgrade. Currently, the servo and maybe finding a new way to do this battery tray would be the only two things right now that I would look to maybe change about this car, which is saying something. I mean, it's really well designed overall. It comes from a platform that's been proven. And what I'll probably also do is maybe do a Velcro on here to hold this in place once I'm ready to go. But there you go. There you have it. The Losi Tenacity DB Pro. The Fox body is what I got. Looks super sharp, guys. They're just killing it with this vehicle. I liked the Tenacity that came out before, but it's only plastic chassis, plastic shock towers. This has about all the upgrades on it that you'd want, except there's one major upgrade that we're going to do right now. We're going to put this sticker on right back here. The trick is to use a knife or something to actually hold the sticker so you can line it up and tap it in place. There it is, RC Conspiracies. One thing I didn't show you was the underside here. You can see the molded plastic that they have going. It's a full cage. Fits down there perfectly. One last thing that's worth showing you is the manual here. It does show you how to work everything, the controller, what all the different switches and knobs mean, how to bind and calibrate the receiver, really important stuff. Also talks about programming your ESC right here, ESC calibrations, and there was a couple of other things here, how to set your mesh if you need to set your mesh. And it talks about the gearing here, and it's that you should switch to the 15 tooth pinion if you're going to run 3S. So in the back is where you get all of the diagrams. There's a bunch of other languages and stuff, and then it goes to your part numbers and all of that in the back, as well as your part explosions, like so. All right, guys, so that's a look at the Losi Tenacity DB Pro. We'll be getting this out for run videos with you guys, then we'll be looking at the smart setup that you can do with the controllers and the different types of controllers you can use, the Bluetooth you can do to your phone. All that kind of stuff is going to be coming, guys. We've got a lot more content about this because of that Spektrum technology that's in here, that smart technology that we want to talk about. So thanks for tuning in as always, guys. Let me know what you think of the video in the comments down below. Let me know what you want to know, what you want to see, and all of that, and we'll get back with you in the next video. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Have fun RCing.